Anyhow, let's go on to the warm-ups. Any questions on these?
Delta and epsilon.
Delta and epsilon. Let's do it. Shall we read delta? Let's read that together, okay? Ready? Hen, ton, ployon, ha, ein, simonas. Okay, so what does hen mean? Is that in? Is that the preposition in? Ah, it's not. Preposition in is pronounced how? N with what kind of breathing mark? Smooth. And what kind of accent does it have? It ain't got one. That's right. This one has the rough and an accent. This is the number 1. What case gender number do you think that is? So nominative or accusative, singular and neuter. That's right. Very good. Now we have no context here, so we don't know if somebody stole one, right? Direct object, or is this the subject of some clause? Okay, we just don't know. All we know, it's just one. And then I have ton, ployon. What does that mean? Yeah, this is boats. And what case? Genitive. So one of the boats. Good. And then I have ha. What kind of word is that? That is a relative pronoun, RP. Okay, we'll just use that for our label. What case gender number is it? Is it masculine? Okay, so that's looking neuter, right? It's singular, it's neuter. What case is it? All right, good. Nominative or accusative. Now, how did you know that that was nominative or accusative neuter? They're the same. And when you learn your lexical forms of the relative pronouns, what are you always going to write down? The nominative forms, which are has, hey, ha, ha, ha. There it is, right? Has, hey, ha. So yeah, so you always know that nominative neuter form. All right, here's the question. If this is singular and neuter, why is it singular and neuter? Not how do you know it is, but why did the writer choose the singular and neuter form? What's that? No. Good question. Good guess, but what always determines the gender and number of pronouns? Its antecedent. What's its referent? What's it referring to? Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, that is neuter plural, isn't it? It's the hen that's neuter singular that this relative pronoun is referring back to. So one of the boats, just one, which boat, singular. Okay, see that? All right. Now, what's ein mean? Ein is what? Well, it's not present tense. Which was. And then simonos. Whose name is that? Mm-hmm. What case is it? Simone is the nominative form. So that's genitive, yes. Genitive singular. So, what's the semantics of the genitive case here? It's possession, right? So which was of Simon, which means which was Simon's. Okay, so let's go back. Is this the nominative or the accusative form of the relative pronoun? It's the nominative. Why? It's the subject of ein. What was Simon's? The boat was Simon's, right? So this relative pronoun's function determines its case. Its antecedent determines its gender and number. All right? So how do I know Simon's not the subject? Because he's in the genitive case. That's right. So ha is nominative. One of the boats, which boat was Simon's? Okay? Make sense? Yes?
This might be very stupid, but is that a relative clause? Which was signed?
Yes. So this whole thing is a relative clause, and it's modifying one.
So that would also tell us that the subject is not signed.
That's right. Yeah, Simon can't be the subject of ain because Simon's in the wrong case to begin with. It would have to be nominative, right? And we know that ha in form could be nominative or accusative, but since my verb in the relative clause is a copular verb and not an action verb, ain could not take a direct object, right? Ain's not transitive. It doesn't take accusative case nouns. So that's another reason that we wouldn't want to go with accusative case for the pronoun either.
How is Simonos genitive?
Yeah, it's a third declension form. Okay, so the Omicron sigma is the genitive singular of third declension nouns. Right, because Simone ends with a noun, right? That noun stem ends with a consonant, and so it's going to follow the third declension. Now, Simon's not a Greek word, so it's also possible that they could have, when they borrowed the name into the language, they could have made it indeclinable, but here they do decline it using third declension forms. It's Hebrew, right? Shimon is Hebrew. Yeah. And Cephas is Aramaic. Kephas. All right. So Petros is the Greek name for Peter. All right. Any other questions here? Epsilon, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's look at epsilon. So let's read this together. Ready? Has gar uk estin kath hemon huper hemon estin. All right. So gar, is 4, and it's post-positive. I'm going to stick it on the outside in my my English translation, right? 4. Now, what's has? Who? It's a article or a pronoun? It's a relative pronoun. What is the head of the relative pronoun? Or is there a head of this relative pronoun? This is a headless relative clause. That is to say, there is no head. You have to supply one in your translation. What might you say? He, has, who, or the one, who. Since the who here, the has is masculine, I could say the man, who. All right? If in the context that's clear. So he who, for he who, uk estin, is not kath hemon. What's the normal form of this word, kath? This is kata, right? What does kata mean? Okay, in when the object of the preposition is in what case? How many cases can kata occur with? Okay, so take a look here. Is this in this week's vocab? So when it's genitive, it means down from or against. When it's accusative, according to, or throughout or during, if there's a time expression in the accusative case after kata. Okay, so which case is the object in here? Genitive. So what's going to be the sense here? For he who is not kathemon, down from us. That's right. You're either down with us or you're down from us, right? So this is against us. Whoever's not against us, huper hemonistin. Huper plus the accusative is over, but this is huper plus the genitive. So on this, or on the side of, on behalf of, okay? And that's us. So this is on the side of us, with us, for us. Yeah, eta, right? So remember, if there's an upsilon, it's you, right? Upsilon is a you in English, and it means you in plural in Greek. If it's the eta form, then it's us or we. All right.
Translate that the huper howlness.
So this huper here, yeah, I would say like on you could translate huper just generically speaking as on behalf of or for. In this case, it's better for, right? Is for us, meaning on our side. Let's read Ada. Ready? Hatheos, tes erenes, has estai methumon. Alrighty. So hatheos means tes erenes, the God of peace. Has estai. What is has? It's okay. Is that a relative pronoun? Yeah. What case gender number is this? So nominative, singular, and gender? Masculine. Let me ask you, why is it singular and masculine? Because its antecedent is theos. Good. Is it nominative because theos is also nominative? No. That's right. It's theos because of its role in the relative clause, which is what? Yeah, what's its role with respect to estai? It's the subject. So that's why it's nominative, right? Okay, great. So the God of peace, who estai? Close. It is a form of a me, but it's not present. And it's not past. Yes, it's future. Who will be? I think because he expects that you've seen this enough times in your homework, is my guess. I'm not sure he's actually ever given it to us as a vocab word. He might have. But who will be? Meth, humon. What is the basic form of this preposition? Meta. And what case follows the preposition? It's genitive. So what's it mean? Meta plus the genitive? With. Yes. So who will be with you? Heath, there's your upsilon. That's you plural. Yeah. That's it. That at least gives us an opportunity to review the matter of relative pronouns, case, gender, number, right? All right. Any other questions?
I think in his book, or the answer key, I think it says is.
Oh, really? Yeah, does his answer key say who will be? It should be. Yeah. All right.
For the humon, if that's genitive plural, why wouldn't it be your?
Because the preposition meta, when it means with, requires the genitive. So you don't need to try to make that genitive mean anything more than just the fact that grammatically it has to be genitive. So really you only have to translate the pronoun with you. Right, exactly. Remember, prepositions, the meaning of the preposition overrides any of the keywords you've learned with your cases. All right. Others here among the warm-up exercises? So gamma? Yeah, let's take a look at that. And again, let's recite this together. Ready? Has kata skewase tain hadan su. Now, we unfortunately don't have the rest of the sentence here, so we don't know for sure whether the has here introduces a relative clause that is headed or headless, do we? Let's assume that it's headless. Then how would I want to translate this if I have to provide an appropriate head in my translation? Yep, he who is probably good, right? He, has, who, kataskuase. He tells you this means will prepare. Tain hadansu. What's that? Your way. The way of you. The way of you is your way. What gender is hadan? Like if you were to parse this, you would want to say this is accusative, singular, masculine. Is anybody tempted to say accusative, singular, masculine? Yes, Kurt is. Anybody want to go to the mattresses with Kurt on this? No? Is anybody puzzled by the article that accompanies hadan if this is accusative, singular, masculine? It's a feminine article, right? And your article is always your friend here. The noun may be tricky, but the article is always true. The article is feminine. The noun must be feminine. This is a feminine second declension noun. How do I know that, Mr. Cattle Chick? Because when I learned my vocabulary word, I learned hadas, and I learned the article hey. It just looks masculine. In every way, it looks masculine, but it is feminine. So this is accusative, singular, feminine. Okay? Who would do that? You know, some Greek guys probably got together and said, let's change the gender of this before we attack India, and then we'll confuse everybody. So he who will prepare your way.
Who will prepare your way?
Oh, who will prepare your way? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. It's not a question. The reason he's translating that as who is not because it's the question word who, but the relative pronoun who. Okay? In other words, this is one of the things that I dislike about Mounce's exercises is sometimes he cuts the snippet out in such a way that it leaves something to be desired because you don't know, is there a noun that comes right before this? Should it have been something like the prophet has kataskuase, who will, right? Because when all you have is who will prepare your way, the key makes it sound like it could be a question, right? If it's a headless relative clause, then you need more than just who will prepare your way. You need something like he who or the one who will prepare your way. Anyhow. Any other questions here?
Just so I understand that the headless relative clause is a clause without
An Yeah, there's no noun that the relative clause modifies. So you have to supply an appropriate head in your translation. Usually the one or he or she, whatever gender the relative pronoun is, will help you to pick the right thing. And of course, if you're reading a text, what that relative pronoun refers to will usually be abundantly clear from the context. All right, anything else? Shall we look at the translation exercises? All right. Tell me which ones gave you fits, and we will tie up the loose ends for you. 6. Let's look at 6. Oh, that's a small one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's put it together. Okay, let's read it. Ready? Has, gar, aeon, thele, tain, psukein, autu, sosai, apalese, autain, has, dan, apalese, tain, psukein, autu, heneken, emu, kai tu evangeliu, sose, autain. All right. So, where are we going to translate gar? You're going to put it in front in our translation, right? So 4, has aeon. What's the aeon? What does he tell you about aeon here?
Ever.
Yeah, you might want to translate that as ever along with the who. So whoever. Yes. So has aeon is for whoever. Thele, wishes. Tain psukein autu sosai. Now, whoever wishes, you don't know infinitives yet, but that's an infinitive. And to wish usually involves wishing some action, right? And an infinitive is the thing that you expect to go with that. Whoever wishes to do something. Whoever wishes to what? Whoever wishes to save. Now look at tain psukein autu. What case is tain psukein? Accusative. All right. So what might its relationship be to this infinitive to save? Yeah, it's the direct object of it. Whose psukein? Autu is in the genitive case, right? So it's a genitive in relation to psukein. Whose life? His life. So whoever wishes to save, direct object, his life, what about that person? Apalese autain. What does he tell you apalese means? Will lose, autain, it. Okay, why is it in the accusative case? It's the direct object. It's the direct object of apalese. Right? Over here, tain psukein is the direct object of sosai. Saving the psukein, losing it. Okay? So you might save one thing, but you'll lose it. On the other hand, has de on. Well, I really didn't mean to say that, but he is giving you an on the other hand here, right? Now, what do we know about the delta with the apostrophe? What does that stand for? That's de, and what's happened to the epsilon of de? It's dropped out because of the vowel starting the next word. Okay, so we have the apostrophe here. And we're going to, like gar, it's post-positive, we're going to put it in front of has here. And or but, again, another has eon, or hasan, right? But whoever. Apalese? What did that mean? Yeah, whoever will lose. Tain psukein autu. His life. Again, this is accusative. It's the direct object of that verb, right? Whoever will lose his life. And then you don't know Henneken. He has to tell you this. What's that mean? On account of, or for the sake of, emu. It takes the genitive case for its object. This is a preposition. So for the sake of me, that is to say, for my sake, or on behalf of me, or because of me. Kai tu evangeliu. There's two things that this preposition governs as objects of the preposition. They're joined by kai, for the sake of me and the gospel, right? Both are in the genitive case, because Henneken requires its object of the preposition to be in the genitive case. So whoever will lose his life for the sake of me and the gospel, so say, will save, altain, it, meaning the sukain, right? So say the Lord. Kurt, does that make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't know how to translate the outtains, and I didn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it helps.
Good. Now remember, altain is a pronoun, right? Yes? Is altain a pronoun?
Yes.
Pronouns have case, gender, and number. What determines the gender and number? The antecedent, which is suke, right? And what determines its case? Its function, which in these cases, pardon the pun, were direct objects, which is why they were accusative.